Peace and blessings, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Aspire to Inspire. We are on episode 38. Today's special guest truly needs no introduction. She is not new to the game, but she is true to the game. I will be interviewing Deja Dee, who is a professional working actress, and her film credits include television shows and films such as The Underground Railroad, Star, Queen Sugar, the feature film What Men Want, and so much more. I'm just going to bring her onto our stage. I'm so excited to hear what she has to say, her source of inspiration. Hi there.
Hi, Queen.
How are you doing today?
I am awesome, fabulous. So glad that I have the opportunity to support you in this way.
Oh, thank you so much. And y'all, I actually had the honor and privilege of meeting Deja Dee before bringing her to Aspire to Inspire. And it's such a full circle moment to have you back on here. I am so grateful to hear your knowledge and insight with your experience in the entertainment industry.
Yeah. Okay. So where should we start?
Honestly, listen, let's start at the very beginning. For the sake of our viewers, listen, tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, what you're passionate about. But you can just start there.
Well, I was born by the river. I'm a military brat, so we moved around a bit when I was younger. But I gotta say, I knew that I wanted to be in this industry at a very young age. People always use, when they think of referring to childhood, 5 seems to be the magic number. I'll say 5, but I don't know. I just know that I was in church plays and in the church choir. And when it really happened, I was in 7th grade, I think it was, and I auditioned for this play. No. I auditioned for it. It was a contest to get into the theater department. Okay. So we had just moved to the area in DC, and I needed an elective. And they were like, take drama, it's easy. It's like, okay. They had this contest, and it had something to do with The Wiz. And I just know that the answer was Michael Jackson. And I won this phone. It was this frog phone. So when it rang, the eyes lit up, and you answered it, its mouth open, so you talk, like that. And I was just sharing with a group of kids the other day that it's so interesting, my beginning to where I have evolved to, because my very first play in the program was McGillicuddy McGotham. And I had one line. Now, the significance in that is, fast forward a gazillion years later, I have a class, The Power of the One-Liner, because as I started to work, my credits were really being built on one-line opportunities. And here's the thing that I know is that casting directors, producers, agents, they're like, actors won't just come say one line. They want to make 20 lines out of one line. And sometimes the job just requires you to show up and just say the line. But when you're new to the game and you're excited that you're on, you want to show that you can do all these things. Right. And it's just not possible in one line. But from that one line in the play in 7th grade, which was, I see him and there he is over there, I think, my drama teacher was like, oh my God, you're amazing. And I'm like, oh, it's so believable. Well, my next play, I was the lead. Who knew? And then that led to my first professional audition at the Kennedy Center, which was a hot mess. Ooh, honey. Sometimes you all know what you don't know. And I had no idea about improv at that time. And it was terrifying. And I was very shy. I had a stage fright. Oh my gosh, that was my first name. So it was a mess. But, you live and you learn. Right. And you learn some more. But in terms of like my story and what I would really like to share is the power of persistence and resilience. I have no idea how I am even here talking to you today. It is definitely by the grace of God, but I say that, so I'm gonna go deep here for a second.
That's all right.
So, 8th grade. Okay. So going into high school, we moved and thus moving out of the district. So, couldn't get into the public school there. So my mom put me in a private school. It was a lot, man. I was involved in everything. She wanted me to be well-rounded. I was a latchkey kid. So, and away from family, you're moving, you're always starting over, new friends, that whole thing. And I think people, parents, teachers forget how hard it is to be a teenager. Like, you're trying to get them to be social and active. You got to get good grades, homework, this and that. And what are you going to be when you grow up? Like, I don't know. I'm just trying to get through 7th period.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get through the day.
And I'm a Cancer by the book.
Oh, me too.
And my mom is a Leo by the book. So us Cancers, we emotional.
Right.
I need some validation. I need love. I need to be hugged. And that just wasn't happening in my home at the time. And like I said, Leo and Cancers, that's like oil and water.
Right.
So being new, one, I was sexually assaulted by the neighborhood boys for a year. They did not succeed in their quest because I fought, but that happened almost every day for the entire school year. And then, with the pressure of just being you and moving out of the district, back into the district, the whole thing, wanting to get something from my mom that I wasn't getting and I couldn't get at the time and didn't know how to say that's what I needed. Well, I just decided that it was just too hard. And I started to physically hurt. And I didn't know what that is. I know now that was depression, right? And depression often shows up in different ways. And, it's hard to explain, but I'll say it for the sake of someone understanding and hearing it, is that depression hurts, not just here or emotionally, but physically. It can get to a place where you just hurt. And so home ec classes, they teach you all these things and show you all these videos to help you say no to drugs, the eating disorder things to tell you not to do that. Well, in showing you those things to not do, you see how those things are done.
Exactly.
So I decided, I'm checking out. I won't be here no more. So I had decided that I was going to cut my wrists because I knew exactly where to cut. But my mom in the military, I was scared of her. So was everybody else around me. And I was like, oh, this is going to make a mess. My mom going to kill me.
Right.
Oh. How your mom going to kill you if you didn't already kill yourself, girl? But that's the child mind that's not developed yet, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't do that. And then I saved it for another day, but another day did come and I just took a handful of pills. Now, unbeknownst to me, there was probably a whole bunch of vitamins. I don't know. It was a bunch of pills from different bottles and I just slept. And recently, maybe the end of last year, thanks to COVID and all that stuff in the world. And when we met doing May Mental Health Month, and I needed that because I needed to connect with others.
As you should.
So I was sharing with my doctor how I was feeling, and I was getting to a point where I couldn't control my emotions anymore. And I was making a comparison. Like, I get dark, but not like the dark that I had felt. And I think I forgot I didn't tell her about the past. And so she was like, you okay?
Right. Right.
So I think I scared her. But she asked me, how did you get through that? And the third thing was I had an eating disorder. I was bulimic for a very short time because it was too much work.
Right. Okay.
And I just wanted my mom's attention, and she wasn't paying me no mind. And I was like, I can't do this one. This is getting on my nerves.
Yeah.
But she asked me, how did I get through that? And I said, God.
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
And she said, wow, so you have just done an amazing job of managing all of that for all these years. So it's no wonder that you're dealing with some stuff that you've never dealt with before to bring peace to that. And even if I'm not thinking about those things, it's just the fact of feeling whatever it is that you're feeling.
Right.
And being a master of coping when now you're a freshman. You're no longer the master of coping with your emotions anymore. So, but I bring that up, one, to show that even I have made it thus far, and I have had a successful radio career and now acting career. Yeah. And you can get past and get through that.
Wow.
But all I did was just keep moving. And it's the same thing I do in my industry and in my business, because I didn't know what to do exactly. I just knew that I had to keep moving. And even though I thought I was going to be a child star, that wasn't happening.
Yeah.
My birthday came and there was no agent, no way of how to get into Hollywood. I realized I aged out of being a child star. I just kept moving. And eventually, when you have developed strong craft in whatever it is that you do, someone is going to recognize. You're going to just naturally pull those people and resources to you. And someone's going to want to help you, or someone's going to have a conversation. They're going to say something that is going to lead you to the place you need to be. And that's exactly what has happened. So you just keep moving. And when you're ready, that's your movie term, right? On set. You're not ready. They say, are ready. And maybe that's theater that has transitioned to film, because, places means you're ready, but you're not on stage yet, right?
Right.
So you're ready to be in place. So in film, no, I need you ready. You're on set. There is no places. Get here where it's time to roll the cameras. So are you ready? And I think oftentimes we think we're ready for what it is that we're dreaming, working, and hoping to get. The truth is, if you don't have it, the pastor say you don't have it because you ain't ready for it.
Right.
So you don't know that you're ready until you're ready.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. But it will happen. And when you're ready, all the resources, all the people will be right there at your doorstep. Now, I know I have talked nonstop for about an hour. Sorry.
No, please don't apologize, because this is why I created this type of platform. I think we as creators, we just have a tendency to talk about how we feel, and that can lead on to our story. And your story is truly beautiful and inspiring. So please do not say sorry for sharing that part of you with everyone, with us and viewers watching. I'm so grateful to hear that. Truly am.
I just wanted to, I'm not sorry for sharing. I'm sorry for not stopping to allow you to be the host.
All good, please. Yeah. I mean, your story covered so much about the mental side. And that's something that often gets talked about on this show a lot, just the mental side of balancing your dream and trying to carry about doing that. And you tying in persistence and staying resilient to that. That can only help you. And it has immensely helped you with your career and all the things you've accomplished. But let's talk about the side of those who are actors or those who don't understand the work or job of an actor/actress. In your opinion, what do you believe are the greatest misconceptions people may have about the job of a working actor? If you could speak a little bit to that.
Well, the first misconception is once you're on TV, you've made a lot of money.
Right.
And that, well, now, of course, it's only going to go up from there. And the truth is, you may get a job. First of all, yes, you get paid a nice check for a day's work in comparison to what you make in the world.
Yeah.
But please understand, there was a few years ago where I think I was on a different show or film every week except for 2 weeks for the first 4 months of the year.
Wow.
So it was crazy that all the projects, they just rolled out one after another. So of course people thought that I was rolling in the dough. But here's the thing. My first year in Atlanta, I booked 16 projects,
Beautiful.
which is unheard of. 2 of them didn't go, so I actually worked 14 of them. Now, that's a lot in our business. That's like 3 years of work in 1 year.
Right.
Putting it in perspective, let's just say I worked 2 days for each show. There were some that I only worked 1. There was a couple that I did 2 weeks, but let's just say, give or take, I worked 45 days. That's 45 days of the entire year.
Wow. Right.
Right? So people think, and they don't see you until the next year or months later. So, that money has been spent and gone.
Okay.
I think the other thing is, once you get a job that you're going to keep booking. And that too is not true. You might book. My mentor, the great Wendy Davis, she was a series regular on the show Army Wives. But it had been 7 years since her last series.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, 10 years? It was 10 years. She was on the show for 7 years. It had been 10 years. 10 years.
Yeah, I know. Talk about it.
What you doing in the meantime? You're auditioning.
Right.
10 years go by, maybe a gig here and there. But the series that she was on was a Steven Spielberg show. Of course you think, I'm in the money now. It's rolling. It's only up from here.
Right.
And it was only that for that time. So that's the other misconception, is that you think people think that you start and you just keep going until you're ready to stop, and that's not true.
Yeah, those are major points you made. That it may take time before your quote unquote big break or whatever role you think might take you to the next level. It's a continual journey. I like to say it's not a marathon. In a sense, it's a journey, and it takes so much time. Thank you so much for sharing that. And in a sense, that kind of, not in a sense, leads me to my next question. But you mentioned earlier that you are an acting coach and you also have your own radio business. I think it's so important to be multi-talented, especially in this industry, because, hey, you may not get a job for a while. So make sure you have something to keep you active and creative. So Could you talk a little bit about your side hustle, you being an acting coach, and the other things you have in your life as well?
Yeah. So, well, I'll say first of all, radio was the first job. Um,
Mm.
after college, it's like your parents ain't trying to hear you going into the. I need acting. Okay, that's great. I need you to get a job because you're gonna have to pay some bills.
Mm-hmm.
So I did radio and I was doing community theater until I got some other training, and then I had an agent, and I did what I could for as long as I could while on the air.
Right.
And I did that for about 17 years. And so literally it's been 10 years. I don't know when this will air, but yesterday was my 10-year anniversary of signing off
Beautiful.
and doing this full time. For me, I ran towards this industry with quite a bit of money in my pocket, more money than any actor that I have ever known. And that was because I wanted to just be the creative. I didn't want to have a side hustle.
Mm.
But when you move to a place like LA or New York, you find that it don't matter how much money you got in your pocket, it ain't enough.
Mm.
So you better find something else to do.
Mm.
I became an acting coach out of necessity to help my friends. I left the Southeast at a time where self-tapes were just starting to become a thing, way before a pandemic.
Right.
We've been doing self-tapes since 2008, 2009. So I had to get really good really fast because I wasn't in the area. There wasn't in Atlanta yet. It was just regional. So you're always going to be what they call a modified local hire, meaning they're going to take care of your mileage. They're going to put you in a hotel. They'll give you a per diem while you're there working. So I was in LA and no one knew because I could be on self-tape. I just had to get there if I needed a callback.
Right.
I was blessed that I was booking straight from tape. And so I didn't have to do the callback thing really too many times. But because of that, I had other friends that were also trying to be bi-coastal. And it was, well, Deja's booking. Can you help me? And I'm an athlete at heart. And I came from theater. And so the team sport, the team camaraderie, I mean, that's just how, I'm made. So of course I'm going to help. And it just got to a point where I was helping so many of my friends. I was like, can you leave something in the offering plate? Because I could have been doing something else. Right. But I'm grateful that I had the opportunity and I had the setup. I had all the stuff because I had to have it before anyone else had anything. So they were always at my place. And so that was an easy side hustle. I'm staying in the profession. I'm staying in the craft because I've got to be sharp on my thing in order to help you. Right. So that's what I did. And I also, right before I came back, I was an Uber driver. And I became an Uber driver partially because I just wanted to get out of my apartment.
No, I respect that. Yep.
I mean, in LA, first of all, you're going to pay an arm and a leg and a kidney for a closet.
Yeah, that's true.
And you don't want to go anywhere because everywhere is a drive, right? So you're talking about gas money. Right. And I had an SUV. So you got to be strategic when you leave the house, right?
Exactly.
Yep. Everything that I needed to do for work was in my apartment. So I was like, yeah, I need to get out, meet people, and just see LA, learn the area. So I did that, and it was very interesting. I only had to kick out one person.
Oh, okay. Okay.
because brother was trying to touch and get my attention, and I was like, okay, no.
No, yeah, take that away. But wow, that was truly inspirational. I love the fact that you're just so open with how you got to where you are. A lot of people, don't hear a lot of the obstacles or a lot of the side hustles that we have to take in order to make sure that our dreams come to reality. And for you to pick up that Uber driving and to make that move to LA and to make your apartment a studio for other people to learn, I just admire you more for that, because you're being of service for other people and allowing people to learn from you, who's been a part of the game for so long and is truly a veteran to the acting industry. So it's just wonderful to hear those type of stories. Thank you. I'm going to keep saying thank you, because we don't get a lot of people who share their stories up front like this. So thank you so much for sharing.
You are quite welcome. I'm going to say this. I've been very blessed to be the one in all circles and in schools, because my mom military, we moved around, so I was in private schools a lot. And getting into community theater, having been trained and working with other Black and brown actors that are doing it because it's a hobby and they just enjoy it, that have no training, I realized, number one, they don't know what the resources are. And at that point, I'm a thespian. I'm in a thespian society, so I'm all about the acting and the theater, right? But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna get this information. I'm gonna bring it back to my people, because either you don't know about it or you don't have what you need to get it. So that, and because of my team background, I just think it's important, because there's so many things that I wish I had known getting started, so that you can mentally prepare for this journey. Yo, let me tell you why it's so hard.
Talk about it.
It is not, they say, what's the thing that they used to say? They used to say, they would blame it on the business. The businesses and the people are evil, and you hear all the no's. No, you don't. Let me just go and tell you, that's the other misconception. People be saying this all the time. I hear no all the time. You do not hear no. Never. You only hear yes. The no comes from you.
Right. Talk about it.
No one's going to call you and say you didn't get the job. You're going to know you didn't get the job when you go to the theater and you see such and such is in the role that you audition for. It ain't you. That's how you know you didn't get the job. So it is so hard, because the way that it's set up for us to get a job, the audition process, it is really positioned in a way for us to be isolated. And we're constantly in a state of waiting.
Right.
Waiting for the audition, waiting for the callback, waiting to see if you got the job, waiting, right? Waiting if you got the job, waiting to see if you get another episode, waiting to see if the show gets picked up, waiting to see if it gets another season. So you find that you're playing this tug of war, or this double dutch, this do-si-do with life. Right. And you end up putting your life on hold because something might happen. An audition may come in. You may book that job, and you've got to be ready to go, right? And with that, you are by yourself quite a bit, because you got to study, you got to learn the lines, you got to prepare, you got to do all those things, right? And because you're not going out and you're not doing this or planning this kind of trip, because you don't want to miss out when the thing comes. So your friends are gone a living. So you are with yourself. And whoever you are is going to show up. This is what makes it hard.
Wow.
Because until COVID and pandemic, we weren't readily talking about mental health and self-health and how to communicate with kids. And I hate that this isn't more readily known. I mean, I guess in certain circles we may know this, but there are schools that provide yoga for young kids as part of their curriculum, as to help them manage emotions and help them center. And it's like, it's proven that these kids that learn how to do yoga at 5, 6, 7 years old are more productive. They have more self-esteem, all of that, right? So we're not taught those things. So it's a trial by error. And depending on your environment, you may have never learned how to deal with what you're feeling, what you think about yourself. So when you start on this path of becoming a working actor, and things are already set up for you to be isolated and to be alone and to not take the chance of living your life because you might miss something, who is your best friend? You and your thoughts. And quite often those thoughts are not healthy.
Right.
And this is why it is hard, because you don't know what you are waiting. You're waiting for an answer. You just don't know. And so it's been a journey for me, for sure, to understand how to manage that.
Yeah.
But more importantly, for me to share with my fellow actors, because we lose a lot of us to drugs, alcohol, sex addiction, all of that, because they're in search of feeling something and feeling the void of not getting the answers and not getting the instant gratification. And I can't do my job without you. I mean, unless I'm Tom Hanks with a soccer ball. And eventually there were other actors, Wilson. I mean, unless you're doing that the whole time, you need other actors, and they need to be great, because you're going to be great together. Because if half of them folks is horrible, but you're great, guess what? The production is horrible.
Yeah. No. Yeah. So true. So true. Oh wow. You're just dropping so many important facts just about mental health and just filling that void. I think all actors, actresses have experienced what you're talking about or are in the midst of experiencing what you're talking about. And your story has definitely touched me, definitely inspired. I know viewers are going to be watching this. I'm so grateful to be talking to you. You're just, you're amazing. You're amazing.
It is my honor, and it is also my ministry.
Right.
Girl, but you better tell them. Tell them about, there's a song. Tell them about, tell them.
Oh, it sounds familiar. I wasn't there with you, but it sounds familiar. It sounds familiar.
It's going to come to you tomorrow.
It is. It sure will. But yes. Thank you so much for sharing that side. But just dive a little bit deeper. I'm just curious in regards to these next few questions about your career and where you desire for it to go, because it's been going so successfully. All the projects, television shows, feature films you've been a part of. It's so inspiring. But I want to ask you, is there a particular role that you desire to play, or in a sense, what is your dream role?
Well, the first part of that is, well, listen, the end game is not Hollywood.
Right.
I know that Hollywood is a vehicle for what my real purpose is. That I know for sure. How that looks, I don't know.
Right.
But because I know this, and because I know the Lord gave that to me at a very young age, I know that I am going to be successful. Because why would he put me in this position for me not to be successful, to do the thing that I'm really supposed to be doing, right? And I knew this at a really young age too, that I was going to be successful and this big time actor, so that I could have the money and influence, and I'm talking about this as a middle school, sixth, seventh grader,
Yeah.
so that I could open, I'm dating myself, so that I can open an orphanage. Influenced by Annie and Oliver at the time, that were the popular films and shows.
Right.
But for past the orphanage part, it's helping kids, helping young girls in disadvantaged areas. And so that looks like schools, that looks like camps and programs and things like that. So I know that it shall happen, and it ain't happening as fast as I want it to.
Right.
But I am grateful that I am on that trajectory, and it's kind of maddening right now. This is champagne problems. It's maddening because I'm working, but I am getting the opportunity to read for things that name actors are actually getting booked for.
Wow.
So on the one hand, I'm like, I'm in the company of these people.
Yes.
I get to be included on this list. But on the other hand, it's like, don't nobody know who you are. So when it comes down to you and that person, they're going to pick that person because that's marketing.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's the maddening part of it. I want to be, I say a superhero, but I think that's very general. Specifically, I just want to be a woman to kick some ass. Can I say that on here?
You can say it. Go ahead.
I want to kick some ass. I want to see, I've been working on that muscle, right?
Go ahead.
So I just want to, put people in their place and save the day. I would just want to be a badass. Yeah, like kind of like a Matrix meets Wakanda.
Interesting. I like that, Nick. I like that mashup you put together. I see that. I see that. And I mean, the reason I asked that is because, once again, you never know what could happen in the future. You never know where the Lord may take you, or will take you in a sense. But in a sense, for you to be in that room of people, that already speaks volumes to where you will go in your future. So listen, all it takes is time. You already got it. You have the talent for sure.
I'm ready. And you know what? I want to do it because I want to kick down some doors. I'm a woman of a particular age. Don't need to tell what age that is, but of a particular age that often is not considered for the type of role that I want. And they don't see you being active. So I'm like, okay, let me just ride a few more miles and, pick up a few more weights and stuff. And then they're going to see, even at this age. And we've only gotten a taste of that recently, at least women of color, for sure. We only recently got a taste of this with Angela Bassett. Outside of Angela, I don't know who else.
Yeah, you're right.
What is it? The library, I think it is. I can't remember it's a film.
So yes.
Yeah, I'm like, first of all, you just look at her, she can do something, right? But I want us to be able to be considered based on our talent, not our age or our body type.
Well said.
Because I ain't never gonna be nobody size 2 or 4 or 6.
All right. It's all right.
But that doesn't mean that I can't do. I probably could do more than what that 2 and 4 and 6 can do. But I'm just saying, it just because she's got more love to give doesn't mean that I can't do the same things.
Exactly.
So cast me based on my talent.
Yeah.
I think not my age, not my size.
No, I love how you said you want to break down these barriers and these doors, or this I don't know, it's like a mindset that body positive women can't play these specific roles because they're not seen as often. And that just speaks testimony to how much the industry needs to change, or how much we're slowly evolving in a sense. Like, change is coming. And I believe people like you, with the mindset of, hey, I'm here, cast me now. I'm here to make some changes to how this industry works. pick me, choose me, and we can make it happen.
Right.
For you to be an advocate for that, that's going to be inspiring and so inspirational for young girls like me, younger girls in a sense, and for everyone to see. But listen, I can definitely see you as an action superhero without a doubt. With your personality right off the bat, I can see it. I can see it. I love it. I love it. I love it. But in a sense, let's just dive a little bit deeper with the work that you've been a part of, and just as a result, your experience with that. I know you have stories on top of stories on top of stories of your experience on set and being a part of different projects. With everything you've been a part of, what are some of the major lessons you've learned in your career as a working actress, whether that be on set, whether that be auditioning, just feel free to share.
I think the most important lesson that I have learned that comes top of mind is that you belong where you are. Therefore, first of all, you are where you are because you worked and you've earned the opportunity to be on that set. Mm. Therefore, your opinion, you're a creative, you're a part of the creative process. And so if you have something to say it and be involved. Don't wait for someone to direct you. You are a collaborator. And I think we're just not, it's just not taught that you have that permission to, first of all, ask questions or to ask if you can take another turn or whatever. And we're so excited just to be on set when you first started. It's just like, I'm here, tell me what to do. You want me to do that? Great, I'm going to do it. But it's really important that you understand the story that you're telling so that you can have a professional conversation and give when you want to. I'm so fortunate that I have been on so many sets repeatedly. In other words, I've recurred on a number of shows. So I have seen how a certain unit works, not just a one in, Exactly. And so I've had the chance to watch what they do, how they communicate, so that now I can mirror that and I understand how that works without stepping on toes, without taking up time, and without being a diva, But, so often we don't understand what our worth is. Especially when even now, I don't even want to say when you get started because it just depends on what your journey is. Right. My journey has been a slow burn because I haven't had, the recurring guest star big thing. I've had one or two, but not the big thing on the network show. And I haven't been a series regular yet. Haven't been the lead of a film yet, right? So I'm still, recurring. I may get a guest star here or there, right? So it still feels like I have to find the permission and, interjecting my thoughts because you're there, you're hired to do a job. And so in our mind and the way that we're conditioned and the way that we're trained, that looks like, let me do what they are intending to shoot. And what story they're intending to tell. However, there may be something within that story that sparks something in you because of your culture, because of your experience. There may be something, and then you have something to offer. I'll never forget. I won't say the name of the show, but there was a show that I probably shouldn't even say. I had a profession.
Okay.
And it was a white man that wrote the script.
Mm-hmm.
And there was some conversation, some language for which related to what I did.
Okay.
That made no sense. And I'm like, now as a Black woman, it's kind of like, we know about the satin cap.
Yeah.
We may not wear it, but we know about it, right? It's like, it's just some things that as a Black woman.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, I've never heard of that thing.
Okay.
And he was like, well, I know you're not going to try to tell me.
Yeah.
Sir. But that was the one time I was like, I know better. And I've got to say something, because if I say this, people are going to be like, huh?
Right. Exactly.
It just didn't make sense.
And everything.
Yeah. So, I still deal with it at times, but I know that I have the right. And even if you show up with one line, even as a one-line actor, you are important because they've paid a lot of money for you to be there. Meaning, if, let's say it's a location and you've got to drive there. So they've got to pay your mileage. They've got to pay your per diem. They've got to pay for the hotel for you to stay. They've got to pay insurance on you. They've got to get wardrobe and pay and makeup, hair. All of those things cost for you to show up to say, oh, they got this chocolate cake. Right?
Right?
Let me tell you, they have tried everything in their power to get rid of that line so they don't have to spend all that money. So the fact that it's still there, it's important, which means you are important, which means that you are a creative and you may have something to offer that is not readily there. And you have the permission to be part of the creative process because you are a part of the creative process.
Yes. Yes. Oh, so beautiful. Oh my gosh, you're so wise. I love everything that you're saying. You're just, this is just beautiful to hear this side because, I'm pretty sure there's times in actors or actresses' life where they may get that co-star role and have a one-liner and feel some type of way and be like, have a grudge about it. But, like you said, that line is there for a reason. It carries significance. And to never feel as though that you're less important because of the number of lines you have. You're just as important, maybe even more, to be able to be a part of that set and to say that one line. Because like you said, it may be significant in a sense. But yes, so true. We're actually winding down our interview a little bit. Again, I'm going to say thank you a lot because I am a grateful person to be doing something that I love like this and engaging with industry professionals like yourself. But my last questions for you is just, your outlook of how you want your career to go. So I ask you, in a sense, within the entertainment industry, and of course, everything is changing, everything's evolving, and as actors, we evolve with it. Where would you like to see yourself 5 to 10 years down the line?
Listen, I think I have probably given up trying to figure that out because, like I said, I thought I was going to be a child star.
No, I get it.
So I have surrendered to the thought or the belief that God's plan is better than my plan. So I am just focusing on the work and trying to be the best that I can and being ready when the opportunities come. So, I mean, what I see 5 years from now is probably what I'm trying to get right now. And that is the contract, the series regular, you know, multiple seasons on a show, and telling important stories in film. A family. But you know what? All that stuff, I don't want it 5 and 10 years.
Yeah, I get it.
I needed it 5 or 10 years ago. So that's why I'm like, you know, I don't know. God got something happening, and I'm gonna let him do his thing. So I'm just gonna be present and ready.
Yes, beautiful answer. Just surrendering to God's will and His will alone. That's the wisest answer I've gotten on this show about that question. I'll say that. But actually, my last question for you, I asked this to all of my guests. It's a kind of an inspirational note or something you want to share to viewers who are watching pertaining to your platform. But I ask you, Deja Dee, how do you desire to use your platform to inspire individuals, whether that's via social media, in person? You know, how do you want to be an inspiration to others?
I think doing what we're doing right now, sharing my truth. And that's exactly what I'm doing with my platform. And that comes across in various ways, whether I'm out of school, whether I'm on social media, or on a platform like this with you. That is what I know that I should be doing, and I love to do, and pray that I can continue to do it more.
Beautiful. Deja Dee, thank you so much for joining me. Wow.
Absolutely.
I can't even describe the feeling right now. It's joy mixed with excitement. It's all over the place right now, but just know that I am grateful to be able to speak with you yet again and to hear all the amazing things you are doing. And I cannot wait to see what you're going to be doing. Maybe, hey, next month, 2 months, a year, who knows? But I know it's going to be great things for you.
Some good stuff is coming too. So I'm grateful that's already in the can, that's coming, that I can't wait. Important work. I'm grateful that I've had a chance to be a part of it. I'm grateful that I've had a chance to be a part of your journey. And I'm so proud of you. I look forward to seeing what you're going to become, and how you're going to evolve in your endeavors and in your career. I'm going to be watching. So thank you so much. And, you know, I'm here whenever you need me.
Oh, of course, of course. And for the viewers watching, thank you so much for tuning in to episode 38 of Aspire to Inspire. More guests and industry professionals are coming to you guys very, very soon. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Yeah.